but with a very basic question, we would be understanding that why transportation is required, why plants and animals needs a transportation system. Getting it? Then in the chapter, we would be learning about transportation in humans. First of all, write the index of the chapter. Okay. Write down these topics. Everyone, give the headings. First of all, write the chapter name, that is transportation in animals and plants. Okay. Give the heading transportation in animals and plants. Then you are going to write down the following topics which we will be studying in this chapter. Okay. So we will understand about transportation and its need. Next, you would be learning about transport in humans. Yes, Priyanka, you are inaudible. You are not properly audible. Please type in the chat box, Priyanka. I hardly can hear you. Okay. Transportation and its need. Transport in humans. Okay. So in transports in humans, we will be learning about several subtopics. The subtopics include like this. You'll be studying about the circulatory system. Circulatory system. You'd be learning about components of blood. Okay. Then you'd be learning about, after having learned about components of blood, we'd be learning about heart. What is the function of heart? How heart pumps the blood, etc. Different chambers of heart and all that we'd be studying here. Getting it now? Then we'd be learning about the transportation in some other organisms, like the transportation in organisms like hydra, which is an aquatic animal. Okay, which is a very small size aquatic animal, which is a single cell, which is a microorganism basically. Okay, so we'll be learning about transportation in hydra. Furthermore, we'll be learning about excretion in humans. Excretion in general, we can say excretion in animals. Okay, so here you'd be particularly learning about excretory system in humans. System in humans, right? Then we would be learning about topics like kidney failure. When a kidney fails, then what one has to go through? Dialysis, right now. So we would be learning about concepts like dialysis. Okay. So far we have seen the transportation in animals. All these are talking about transportation in animals. Later on, we'll be talking about transportation. All these we're talking about transportation in animals. Later on, we'll be talking about transportation in plants. Right now. So there you'll be particularly learning about the concepts like xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem. So all of you, first of all, write down the following topics in your note, in your copies, and then do let me know once you're done. Yeah, the name of the lesson, Priyanka, it is transportation in animals and plants. Priyanka, are there very few cell towers in the area where you are living?
Yes.
Like, you generally face some network issues.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, now you're audible. Better now.
Okay, sir. Like, I'm in my cousin's house. So.
Oh, okay, no worries. Do let me know once all of you have written it. Okay, now.
Okay, sir.
Priyanka, you didn't give the test. Abu, by the way, you have got 26 out of 31. The test, weekly test 6. Okay, now on the 6th weekly test, you have got 26 out of 31. Okay, Abu.
Sir,
Yes, Priyanka.
I told my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and he told he will do it.
She will do it. I don't. What?
Sir, I told my dad, so he will tell the Learnivio team
Okay. Regarding what, Priyanka? I
to
didn't
the
understood.
test.
Test.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, your mark isn't bad, Abu. It is good. Okay, na. The only thing you didn't answer properly was about crystallization. Okay, na. The definition was not proper. The definition of crystallization was not proper. Getting it? Okay. So one of you tell me about crystallization. Like Priyanka, you tell us about crystallization. We have studied about crystallization. So what is crystallization? Yes, Priyanka. Yes, Priyanka. Can you recall this concept? Or Shreya, you would also have studied about this concept crystallization in your school when chapter heat was going on?
No, sir.
No, not in heat. This topic was there in the physical and chemical changes actually. Physical and chemical changes. In that chapter, you would have studied about this crystallization. Priyanka, recall this. We had the example of crystals of copper sulfate. Huh?
No, sir.
You haven't. You guys are not revising. Hmm. Crystallization was a process using which you can separate a pure substance from a mixture of impure solution. Getting it? Crystallization is basically the process of separating out solid substances from its solution. For example, you have a solution of copper sulfate. Okay, now so in this solution, copper is it in the dissolved state. Remember how we learnt about the process of how you can obtain crystals of copper sulfate from its solution. First, you have to heat it. Then first you have to boil it, and then you have to let it cool slowly. Crystals of copper sulfate would be obtained. So this is the method where you are obtaining the solid pure substance from its solution. So first you would have boiled it, then you'd let it cool. So then you will be able to obtain crystals. So you'll be getting crystals like this. Okay, anyway, sometime we will revisit this concept. So crystallization is basically the process of separating solid substances, pure solid substances from its solution. Everyone done writing down these topics or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Abu Bakr, Priyanka, done? Please let me know once you are done.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Done? Okay.
Yes.
So the question, why plants and animals need a transportation system? First of all, even before discussing this question, let us understand about transportation. Transportation in general, it means to carry something from one place to another, right? Like for example, transportation of goods from one place to another, transportation of goods from the industries, from the factories to the markets. By the way, Abu Bakr and Priyanka, you guys also turn your cameras on in the class. So transportation in general means that when you are carrying something from one place to another, right? So we have transportation of goods, prepared goods taking place from the factories to the markets. Like for example, sugar is produced in the factories right now. So the once sugar is prepared in the factories, then it has to be packed and then sent to the market. So then it is being transported now, right now. So transport in general means to carry something from one place to another, as we obviously know. Then talking it in context of living organisms, when we talk about transport in context of living organisms, so what is being transported inside our body? What is moving from one place to another inside our body? Think of this and answer.
So blood cell.
Blood, food,
Hmm? In blood, what do we have?
So blood cell.
Your
Cell.
blood cells are moving from one place to another. Very good.
food,
Okay. Food, food. In the blood, we have got food, digested food is moving in the blood, and oxygen. Getting it, guys? Oxygen is moving from one place to another inside the body in the blood. Carbon dioxide also, right? Okay, and waste materials also,
Yes, sir.
right now. So we have a cell, like any cell in our body that would be performing. A cell performs different functions, as you guys know. In order to perform different functions, it needs food, so that it would be getting. So it would be getting the food, right? So this cell here, as you guys already know the cell is the smallest structure found present in our body. And a cell requires, yes, Fatima, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Why
So
you
could
have
you
joined this late?
so actually I was facing some network issues.
Okay, okay. Others, so many students haven't joined today. Suleiman also hasn't joined today, and Abu and Aman is also not present. Hmm. See, we have started a new chapter today. We have started this chapter, transportation in animals and plants. Okay, these were the
Mm,
topics. If possible, you can take the screenshot of it.
okay. So
Okay,
sir, we have to write it down.
yeah, you guys have to write it down. Others have already noted it, so you take the screenshot. Okay, na?
Okay.
Abu, you're finding the language of fill in the blanks question complicated. That's not that complicated. I think it's easier. It's not that difficult. And wherever you are having some difficulty, like in some, if there are some words which you can't understand, then you can take help of net. You can Google them. Okay, Abu. So I don't think the language of the question is that complicated. Okay. Done, Fatima?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So moments ago, we were discussing why plants and animals need a transportation system. See, the cell in our body carries out different functions. Like the cell would be, for example, this is a cell of a brain, for example, let us say. So our brain cells has got multiple functions. Like it keeps the memory of different things. It controls controls the functions of our body. It controls the rate of digestion. It controls the rate of heartbeat. So many things are being controlled by the cells of the brain, for example. So cells of the brain have got some function to perform. It would need some food, so it needs the food. It needs oxygen. Okay, so it takes in oxygen and food to break down the oxygen is taken to break down the food, and energy will be released. Okay, now that is called as respiration, breakdown of food, is called as respiration. Then after food would have been broken down, when the food has been used, there would be some waste material also that will be produced. So waste material has to be released from the body. So the waste materials could be either in the form of gaseous waste like carbon dioxide, or it could be other waste also, like it could be liquid waste. Like in most of the cells, the waste would be urea. Getting it? So what I'm trying to tell you here is that all these things that are required by the cells, it has to be transported to the cell now via the blood. So in order to carry these necessary requirements of the cell, like food and oxygen, and to take out waste materials like urea and carbon dioxide out from the cell, it requires a transport system now. Just like for you to travel from your home to the school, you require a transport system, you require a vehicle, you require a road network. Yes or not?
Yes, so
Yes, sir.
Similarly, in the same manner, we see that there are trillions of cells in our body, and the requirements of the cells are met by a transport system, a well developed transport network in our body, that is called a circulatory system. Right now, so there's a well branched network of different type of nerves, different types of nerves in our body. And
sir,
you
the
can
blue.
understand it similar to that of a road network, where one road would be connected to another, and transport of one thing, transport of materials takes place on the road, transports of good, transport of people takes place from one destination to another. Here also there's a well developed network of veins, arteries, etc., that would carry on one thing, carry on different things from one place to another. Yes, Fatima.
Sir, are the blue lines veins, or like is it deoxygenated blood? The
See,
blue.
they carry deoxygenated blood. They carry carbon rich blood, carbon dioxide rich blood. The red ones are arteries. Okay, no? We're going to talk about that one as well, like which one carries oxygen, which one carries carbon dioxide, which one is more thicker. All that we'll be learning. Okay. So just like you guys know, like for example, from your home you have to travel to your school, for example. From your home you have to travel to school, and say, or you have to travel to a nearby market, for example. So you are traveling because there's a well developed network of roads, right? Getting it? So there's a well developed road also. And are you going there via foot? Are you walking to that place, or you'd be most probably taking help of a vehicle, like via car you would be going there. So cars helps you to travel from your home to the destination. Getting it now? From your home to the destination, like that. So generally what we see over here is that just like transport of a person or goods takes place from one place to another via a well developed network of road, and with in this vehicle. In the similar manner, the transport of different things like oxygen, food, water, carbon dioxide, it is going to take place from one part of the body to another, uh, via the well developed network of veins and arteries, and it will be flowing in the blood. So, can you think of the road as arteries and veins? You can think of the veins and arteries similar to that of road. Got this now? Okay. So you are going from your home to your school by sitting in this car now. So you are sitting in this car, getting it?
Yes, sir.
So thereby the food that you take in, so food will go from one part of the body to another part of the body via which vehicle? Via, in that context, if you think, so it would be transporting via the blood now, right? So the road, you can think it's just like the veins and arteries, and this vehicle you can think of it similar to that of the blood. So the blood would be carrying It would be carrying oxygen, it would be carrying food, carbon dioxide, and other waste materials. Got this now? What I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, Shreya, you read the first paragraph up to here.
Circulatory system. The organ system of the body that is responsible for the transport of material throughout the body is called circulatory system.
Call a circulatory system right now.
Sir,
So
can I
here,
read the other part?
yeah, sure. Just 1 minute.
Okay.
So here we get to see that in our body, veins, arteries, these are the main nerves present in our body, also called as blood vessels. Okay, now apart from veins and arteries, later on we'll be learning that there will be some very small nerves also called as blood capillaries. If you want to look at the blood capillaries, just stretch out. By the way, am I visible to everyone or not?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sir.
Well,
I am na? Okay. So
Yes.
you can stretch out your eye like this. For example, like this. When you look at look yourself in the mirror. So in the lower part of your eye, you can observe very thin blood vessels. You would have observed that, right?
Yes, sir.
So those very thin blood vessels are actually the blood capillaries, right? So there are three different types of blood vessels in our body, namely vein, arteries, and blood capillaries are also there. Okay. As of now, just know this, right? Furthermore, organs like heart will also be playing an important role in the transport of the blood from one place to another. So heart will also be counted in the circulatory system. Getting it, guys?
yes, sir.
Okay, now. So thereby, heart and the blood vessels, different types of blood vessels, together they make up the transport system in the human body called as circulatory system. Okay. So
Okay,
the
sir.
organ system of the body that is responsible for the transport of material throughout the body, that is called as the circulatory system. So you guys tell me, what are the parts of the circulatory system in the human body?
Sir,
Vein,
Hmm.
artery,
veins,
Hmm.
artery,
Heart.
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 that, that,
So these are the main parts of the circulatory system in the human body,
Sir, what
namely
about blood cells?
blood cells. So see, blood is basically, I'm right now here we are not talking like when we say in context of organ system. When we say in context of organ system and special tissues, so thereby we are referring to heart, vein, arteries, and blood vessels. While the blood is the liquid medium in which the transport of food, oxygen, and other things would be taking place. Getting it now? So generally we count blood vessels, heart, and in general we can say blood as well. Okay, no? In general we can count that too. So the main parts of the human circulatory system would be the different type of blood vessels, then heart, and blood also can be counted in this. Getting it now? Heart, you guys know, it's a muscular organ that would be pumping the blood throughout the body. That is the main function of the heart, right? Blood vessels would be vein, artery, and let me write down one more. We'd be having like capillaries would also be there. So veins, arteries, capillaries, these are the blood vessels, right? Furthermore, we can count the blood too. Good, Fatima. We can count the blood too, right now. So blood would also be containing different components in it. Like blood would be made up of red blood cells. Plasma is going to be in it.
Sir, the
White
blood
blood
group or just the blood?
blood group. Yeah, different people have different blood groups.
B
So that's
positive, A positive, like that, right?
like that exactly, right now. So that also we would be discussing later on. So the heart, different blood vessels like veins, arteries, and the capillaries and the blood that will constitute the main part of the circulatory system. This makes up the circulatory system in the human body. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Fatima, you read the next paragraph.
The materials transported are nutrients, oxygen, carbon dioxide, cells, etc. The medium of transportation is blood. The primary parts of the circulatory system are
Hmm.
the heart and arteries and veins.
Hmm. And we can count blood also. Okay, no? These are the primary parts. Okay. So far, I believe everyone understood it. Okay. Now let us learn about the blood. Okay, now. So blood basically is what? Basically, it's the special fluid found in our body in which transport of different things like carbon dioxide, oxygen, waste materials like urea, or food will be taking place. So it has got several functions to perform. The blood has got several functions to perform. Like its one of the main function is to transport oxygen, right? Also, another function is that like whenever we have a cut, whenever there is a wound, hmm, so the blood will clot and thereby prevent the loss of loss of excess fluid from the body, loss of blood from the body. Getting it? So blood, we define it to be a fluid that would be circulating in our body, that would be circulating in the heart, in the arteries, in the veins and capillaries. Okay, na? And the capillaries of the animal body, and that would be carrying the oxygen, carbon dioxide, food, water, etc., and waste products also from two different parts of the body. So it's a fluid in the body. Also, furthermore, we say that the uh, blood would be particularly found in the invertebrates, like the animals that have a backbone. Particularly in them, the blood is found. Getting it, guys? So there are some organisms in which blood is absent. Can you think of that? Like there are some organisms in which blood is absent, and particularly those organisms do not have a backbone. Moments ago,
Sir,
I was saying that. One moment. Moments ago, I was saying that blood will be found particularly in those organisms that have a backbone. Backbone, you guys understand? Your spine, right now. But
sir,
there's some.
is it cockroach?
Yeah, cockroach does not have a backbone, and so that it does not also have a blood.
Sir, so the cricket also doesn't have a red blood, right? You told like there was a green blood oozing out of it.
Green blood.
Yeah,
No,
you
Yes,
told
six.
sir.
No,
once
I'm
you.
talking about a blood similar to that of humans. The red blood, I'm talking about this. Okay, no? There, the composition would be different. Getting it?
Okay, sir.
Hmm. So you have some of the organism like jellyfish. You know about jellyfish,
Yes, sir.
or like corals.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Corals are there.
octopus.
Octopus also good, or like flatworms. Huh? Flatworms are there, octopus are there, jellyfishes are there. Getting it? So these are like some organisms that do not have blood. Reason being, they do not have a circulatory system in their body. Octopus is also. Getting it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Furthermore, it is not necessary that blood will always be red. It's not necessary that blood is always red. Getting it? Like for example, you know about horseshoe crabs. How many of
Yes,
you have
sir.
heard of this? Okay, can you guess the color of the blood of horseshoe crabs?
Sir, white.
Shreya, no, it's not white. It's blue in color. Okay, na? Let horseshoe crab blood. Have a look at the blood of this. Oh, it's not loading. Just one minute. Yeah, this is I'm talking about. Ever seen an image of this before?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this horseshoe crabs have got blue blood. Getting it, guys? So it is not necessary that all the animals would have the red blood. Of them would be having blue blood, some of them would be having violet blood, some of them would be having green blood. Got this, guys? Also,
Yes,
if you were to look at the blood of the some scorpions also, that would also be blue in color. Hmm? Getting it? Or like in the previous class, Fatima, which one had a green blood? We had the example of
The cricket. Cricket.
crickets.
Cricket.
Yeah. Okay, now. So that would be having a green blood, for example. Cockroaches, their blood would be white. Getting it? Cockroaches, their blood would be white. Usually, it's
Yeah.
very different from others, and it would be white. Okay. Or for example, you guys know about beetle.
Yes, sir.
So beetle, what color is the what is the color of their blood? It
Sir,
would be
purple.
no, actually it's yellowish in color. Yellow.
Oh.
Okay, na. So this beetle would be having yellow color blood. Okay, so we were discussing about some general things about the bloods. Okay. Also, I did told you about functions of blood. So what are the functions of blood? You guys tell me.
transportation of oxygen,
Transportation.
Hmm.
Oxygen.
Okay. And
Transport from one place to another.
transport of what?
excretion of waste materials such as urea and carbon dioxide.
Okay, so it would be taking away the waste materials from the cells, like urea, carbon dioxide, etc. Hmm? Okay. Furthermore, um, furthermore, as you guys said, it supplies oxygen to different parts of the body, to cells and to organs and tissues, right? Furthermore, it is carrying very essential nutrients to the cells. Like it carries essential nutrients like protein in the form of amino acids, fat in the form of fatty acids, and carbohydrate in the form of glucose. Right now?
Yes,
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Notice here we are not talking about protein, but we are talking about amino acids. Can you guys tell me why the blood will not be carrying the protein, but it will be carrying the amino acids?
because after digestion, the proteins will be converted into amino acids.
Very good. Getting it, guys. So that is the reason. Furthermore, it is removing the carbon
So, what
dioxide.
was the reason I couldn't hear?
Yeah. As Shreya explained that, we know that in the small intestines, we have got villi. Villi are the finger-like projections present in the small intestines. Their function is to absorb the digested food. So absorption of digested food takes place in the small intestine. So the villi has got a rich network of blood capillaries. So the blood capillaries present in the villi absorbs the digested food. Okay, and this is taking place in the small intestine. And in small intestine is the site of complete digestion in the human body, right? Where different components of the food converts into the simplest form. Like protein has converted into the amino acids, fat into fatty acids and glycerol. A carbohydrate has converted into glucose there.
Glucose.
Good. So thereby the blood would be absorbing the food into their simpler form, into their final form. Getting it, guys? So that is the thing. Okay. Furthermore, certain waste products are also produced in our cells, like carbon dioxide is the most common. Apart from urea is also there. Then lactic acid is also produced in the cells sometimes, right? So that is also a waste product. Got this done. So that too has to be removed from the cell and will be carried by the blood. Okay. Right now, I'm not writing anything. We guys are just having a general discussion regarding blood. Okay, now once I start writing, you guys also will have to write that down.
Okay, sir.
Furthermore, blood has got white blood cells, right? And white blood cells have the necessary antibodies which helps our body fight against the infections and fight against the bacteria, viruses, etc. Getting it? Basically, the pathogens. So blood is having an essential component, having a very important cell called as white blood cell, which increases the immune system of the body, right? Then in the blood, you have some special structures called as platelets. Platelets are also present in the blood platelets. Their function would be to help the blood to coagulate, to clot. Now imagine if someone were to get a cut anywhere in the body, and what if the blood flow does not stops? Someone had a cut in the hand. For example, if I were to have a cut in my hand, if the blood continues to flow from that cut, so the person is going to die due to excess loss of blood, isn't it? So what should happen
Yes.
there? The flow
It
of the blood should, it
Speed
has to be,
blocked.
it
blocked.
has to be,
Blocked.
hmm, it has to be blocked, right? Now, okay. So either if the
There's
cut,
another way to block
mhm,
it, like you can put turmeric on it and it will get blocked.
yeah, that is also one of the way which you can do. Okay. See, if the cut is too big, then a bandage has to be applied on it. Okay, but generally, if the cut is small, so blood will automatically, after some time, we see that the blood flow stops from that place. If the cut is small, right?
Yes, sir.
Why does that happen? Because a clot has developed. Like for example, in a pipe, if the opening of the pipe is clogged with something, you jam it using something. So thereby the flow of water, for example, in this pipe, it will stop. Okay. So something similar to this happens here, that whenever you get a cut, then the blood will slowly start to coagulate. It will start to coagulate and the blood flow will slowly stop. It will develop a clot. So why does it happen? Because of a component called as platelet found in the blood that helps the blood to clot whenever we are bleeding. Hope that is clear. Okay,
Yes,
na?
sir.
Okay. Furthermore, blood has another important function. Like it helps to regulate the temperature of the body also. How does the blood helps in regulating the body temperature? Yeah. Like if the weather is very warm, like in the particularly in the summer season. hmm, So thereby, or for example, you are doing some intense workout, you are doing some sports. Huh? So there will be increased flow of blood in your body, particularly in the surface of. Please turn off your mic. Someone's mic is on and there's some background noise. Yeah. So what are we saying, that the blood also helps in regulating the body temperature. Regulating the body temperature means that maintaining the body temperature, maintaining the normal body temperature of the body. So for example, whenever you are doing some intense workout or when the weather is very warm, so there will be increased flow of blood to the surface of the body, close to the skin. Getting it now? So thereby it will make the skin warmer, and thereby due to that, heat will be lost from the skin. Try to understand what I'm saying. That like whenever the weather is very hot or you are doing some intense workout, hmm, so at that time lots of heat develops in your body or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the way to get rid of that extra heat? How do we get rid of that heat?
By sweat.
By sweating. Okay,
By sweat.
good, very good. So why sweating happens? Because there is
Due to
increase.
ex-
Mhm.
due to excess like of exercise, the heat builds up the
Hmm.
sweat.
Hmm. Good. So what happens whenever the weather is hot and you are doing some intense workout, you're doing some sports or you are running like that, so thereby there will be increased flow of the blood close to your skin, right? So the rate of flow of blood will be higher, and when blood flows at a higher rate, so thereby it will generate heat, it will cause heat, and via the skin the heat will be lost, and thereby making the body cooler, regulating the temperature of regulating the normal temperature of the body. Got this? Or for example, when the temperature around you it drops, huh? So when the temperature around you drops, so thereby the blood will be focusing more on the important organs deep inside our body. Like in the cold season, generally our hands are cold. Why is it so? In the cold season, like for example, when you look at your fingers, when you touch your hand, in the winter season, it is cold or warm?
Cold.
It is.
Cold. Okay. So at that time, what is happening? The blood is focusing more on providing blood to the organs deep inside our body. Because at that time, our body, if your body loses heat, will it be good or bad for you in
Bad.
the winters? Obviously, it
Bad.
will be bad, no? So thereby,
Yes,
at
sir.
that time, why our body surface is cold? Reason being is that the flow of blood, the increased flow of blood is taking place towards the organs deep inside our body. But in the summer season, or when you are doing some intense workout, your body generates too much of heat. Huh? Ever touch, ever put your hand on the body of a person who has walked for so long or who has been running for half an hour? You feel that his body temperature would be, his skin would be warm,
Yes,
right? Why does it happen? Because the body wants to get rid of the extra heat, so thereby there will be increased flow of blood towards the surface, and all those extra heat via the skin surface will be lost, and thereby the normal body temperature would be maintained. What is the normal body temperature of the human body?
37.
37.
37. Very good. Okay, that is in degrees Celsius. Okay, then do tell me, what is the normal body temperature of human body in degree Fahrenheit?
Um,
34. 30.
98.
Mhm. In Fahrenheit scale.
Sir,
98.6.
34.
Mhm.
190,
Oh,
No. Yes.
130.
No, not that much. That is too much. Think,
98.6.
uh, Abu Bakr, yeah, 98.6. Very good. 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, no? 36 is not the. See, 36 is not the answer, Abu Bakr. No. 37 degrees Celsius is the normal body temperature in the degree Celsius, in the Celsius scale. This is equivalent to 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. In the Fahrenheit scale, 37 degrees Celsius is equal to 98.6 in the Fahrenheit scale. Okay, no? That is equivalent to this. Okay, normally when you measure the fever, so if a person suffering from fever, his temperature in Fahrenheit would be above 100 degree Fahrenheit, right? No? Okay, so that is clear. So, guys, the functions of the blood which I have told you so far, is that clear to everyone or not?
It's
yes.
clear, sir.
It's clear? Good.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So, first of all, now we should be able to define what is blood. Okay, now. So, first of all, write the definition of the blood. Okay, write its definition and then we'll be continuing. So, blood, it is a fluid. Fluid means liquid. Okay, so it's a fluid in the circulatory system of some animals. I'm not talking about all the animals, keep that in mind. Okay, I'm saying in some animals. So it is a fluid in the circulatory system of some animals that delivers the, all of you have to write down the definition. Give the topic blood and then write down the definition. That delivers the necessary substances,
So
necessary
what are
subs
the fluid in the
it's a fluid in the circulatory system of some animals that delivers the necessary substances such
okay.
as oxygen, carbon dioxide, food, and takes away waste materials don't write carbon dioxide here, okay now? So that leaves the necessary substances such as oxygen, food, and takes away waste materials like carbon dioxide, urea, and lactic acid from the cells. Okay now? Write down this definition, then do let me know once you're done. Are you sure in 7th standard, right?
Yes, sir.
Arush, I'm talking to you.
Done.
Done? Okay.
No, sir.
For those of you who are done, then now write the functions of the blood. Okay. So talking about the functions of the blood, following are the main functions. So first function is that it supplies oxygen to cells and tissues. Next, you'd be writing down it supplies essential nutrients like, for example, amino acids, fatty acids. For example, you have glucose also. Next, you're going to write it removes wastes like carbon dioxide, that is CO2, and lactic acid. Okay. Then another thing is that bloods have white blood cells, which helps in fighting against infections. Okay. Next thing you'd be writing down that it regulates the body temperature. Regulates the body temperature. Regulates the body temperature. Got this now? So write down this much and do let me know once you are done.
Sir, what's in the bracket after acid in the functions of blood?
Oh, actually, L is missing here. Glucose. GLUCOS. By the way, for those of you who had attended the we completed the previous chapter, were present in the previous batch, Priyanka, Abu Bakr, and Fatima, we were doing the chapter respiration in living organisms. So, do you guys have any doubts in that chapter?
So it happened the last class I attended.
No, sir.
Okay, good. So you had attended only the last two classes, or like previous classes also. I think you were present, Fatima.
Yes, sir. I was present
Okay.
the previous classes.
Also, keep on revising that chapter, and if you develop any doubts, you have any doubts in any topics, do let me know. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Noted, sir.
Done.
No, sir.
Okay. So today we have learned about why transportation system is important, why it is needed right now. Because without a transport system, without the circulatory system in the humans, how are we supposed to stay alive? How the cells will be receiving the essential nutrients and get rid of the waste materials? How they will be getting oxygen? Hmm? So it is because of in order to fulfill the requirements of the cells of our body, we do have this well developed circulatory system in the body. In the same manner, when we will be talking about the plants, so plants do also require essential nutrients from the soil. Hmm. Plants would be taking is different essential nutrients, different minerals from the soil. So how do they do that? And then, for example, when the photosynthesis takes place in the leaves of the plants, so glucose is formed. Glucose is then converted into a starch. uh, so the food that has been prepared by the plants, so it should not remain in the leaves only. The root also requires the energy now. Root also requires the food. uh,
Done,
so
sir.
there also we'll be studying about the need of transport. Done,
Done, sir.
everyone?
Yes,
Okay, so
sir.
that's it for today. We'll be meeting in next class then.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Yes, we'll have this.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Yes, bye.